consider subscribing to my dinky little channel here. This was information that was very hard won on my end. Please subscribe. All right, so I'm just left my my Thai lady at her work. She's got to work Sunday. The Thais are a hard-working people. Again, I've said this before, your average Thai works 6 days a week, 10 or 11 or 12 hours a day. My girlfriend is no exception. There's days I really feel for her, and I'm offering to help, and even in my condition with my disability and my problems, even I'm thinking, geez, I'll try and do something, in which I shouldn't be doing, but I want to. And then and I'll offer to pay to have the laundry done, pay for things like that, and I'm thinking of a joke, pay to have some insanely beautiful young lady clean her house for us. I'm just kidding. Anyways, that exists here, by the way. Anyways, no, I'm just kidding. But I mean, she can't do that, because then that goes against the culture. The other ladies would might gossip her, and she would lose face. I want to do a video. I need to do a video on losing face. What does that mean? How does that work? And how does that work with us and having a Thai lady and her losing face or not? Because I've seen that really cause stress for the Thai ladies, and in ways I would have never imagined. And so I need to do something on that, because that's really quite interesting. If you get dating a lady after a while, and it's hard to not, you start dating a Thai lady, and they're so good to their men, and they're so kind, and they take such good care of us. It's a lot of guys have the same story I do. They date just a couple ladies, and then one of them just really takes great care of them, and darn it, you almost can't get rid of them. I'm just kidding, but I mean, they take such good care of you. You're just like, yeah, you kind of want to date and play the field, but darn it, this lady just. And that's the thing. And I had one lady that I was flirting with before I was really going steady with my girl now, and she said, "I will make you love me." Her exact words, "I will make you love me." And she said it in a way that wasn't negative in any way at all. It was really like, oh my gosh, wow, I can't wait to meet her. I mean, wow, that lady in particular really wanted a foreign man. And I will say, I know there's a lot about money and all that, and I got to think about this more, but I'm right now I'm kind of pondering. It's almost starting to shape up between all the research I did before I got here, all my experience after having lived immersively for almost a year now, and I've made Thai friends, and I have long-term expat friends, and I mean, I've got a lot of data at my disposal, and it's kind of shaping up, like, in many ways, as much as it's very different here. Let me twist this phone a little bit. As much as it's very different here, it's kind of also the same at the same time. I mean, yeah, money's a factor, but again, I love that line from Chris Rock, the American comedian, if you're not familiar. He said that, well, nobody ever says, gee, my wife and I, we got so much closer after I lost my job. And that's so true. That is just so true. It just doesn't happen. I mean, my downswings in my marriage back in the States were often coincided with financial difficulties or COVID or whatever. And I mean, a lot of times they didn't, and that's why we're not married anymore. And that is sad. For the record, that's sad. I can't say a divorce is the last thing I wanted, because that's literally not true, but it's the second to last thing. The last thing I wanted was after doctors told me I may have some serious mobility issues on the near horizon, and if I want to do anything fun, I better get the heck out there and get going. A clock was put on me, if you will. The last thing I wanted to do was spend those precious hours and years with someone that I felt had grown to despise me and act in a way that, almost like an enemy or an adversary. It was very strange. Psychologically, there was some stuff going on there that I couldn't control. And that's enough about that, but that's kind of how I sort of ended up here. I'll have to tell my story sometime. It is kind of crazy, and it is kind of funny. It really is. I did not plan to come here, anything to do with my marriage at all. This trip was planned for something else, and now I'm staying. So it's, I assure you, a crazy story. But anyhow, so here I am, little old me, and yeah, I'm kind of seeing it's a little bit the same, based back on the Chris Rock thing. No one ever says that, and so money's in relationships in the States and in the West and modern world, however you want to say it. You know, we in the us Westerners can be a little arrogant, I think, in how we look at other cultures and such, and have a maybe an overinflated opinion of ourselves. Like, who doesn't, I guess. But you know, in a lot of ways, it's kind of the same thing here, because I often will really almost like an argument back and forth with my girlfriend about giving her, you know, money and paying for things, and she's very proud of her job and her income, and she only wants when she needs something that she just truly can't do, when she wants extra classes for her why are people flashing their lights? What's going on? Nothing wrong with the car. The road is like that. Or maybe they're being nice and warning me about this god-awful road. That could be. I sure would appreciate it, or I do appreciate it. It's this road's gotten terrible. It used to be a nice road. I don't know what happened. Oh, a checkpoint. They're flashing lights because there's a police checkpoint. This is interesting. I've got both licenses, so I should be okay, but I'm a full-on driving a car. This could get weird. Let me see. I'm going to put my window down and go I'm going to stop. I think he's waving me to stop. Sawadee Cup. Oh, gang mak, cup kun cup.
ใบขับขี่ bicycle
By cup key? Try cup key.
ขับขี่
Cup key license. Cup kun cup.
Good.
Cup kun cup. By cup key. Cup key is license. Cop is drive. Key is ride. Drive, ride. License. Thank God I knew what that was. I think he was impressed. I deliberately handed him both licenses. I have a motorcycle license and a car license. Now, if everything was on the legit and up as he was, I could have had my AAA international driving permit, which I got for $20 at my AAA back in the States, and took 10 minutes. Super easy. Best 20 bucks you can spend, in my opinion, if you're coming here. And that is good for at least 90 days by the strictest interpretation or narrowest interpretation of any law applicable potentially there. And generally is regarded as good for 1 year. It is up for interpretation by the police officer, and he's going to say whatever it is or isn't good for, and you're going to go, yes, sir. You're not going to win any argument with a cop here. That sounds obvious, but people don't. They argue, and you shouldn't do that. And just pay the fine. Just pay it and get out. You don't want problems. I don't like problems anyway. Some people seem to like problems. I don't like problems. But that guy was very good. You saw him. He spoke English very well. And I think he liked the fact that I addressed him properly in Thai. I debated between doing a Y or not, but he did not look older than me, and I didn't want to appear like a completely ham-handed tourist, so I did not Y him. I just gave him a good Sawadee Cup. And I got a motorcycle flying by with 3 people on it. One of them has a helmet, though. I like it when they have 2 people, 2 helmets, but the one guy's wearing a helmet and carrying the other one. The other guy's riding the motorcycle and not wearing the helmet. I love that. Like, well, at least you have a helmet. Anyway, so, yeah, I mean, love and money and dating and relationships and all that. And as much as we say this and that and all these things, and I don't know. I mean, honestly, a lot of the time, I'm kind of starting to feel it's a little bit of the same as it is back in the States and back in the West. I kind of am, you know. If you're in a good relationship. And as much as I do have some country problems, because you do get the super traditional culture out here, and that's mostly good, but there can be they, maybe have monetary expectations from their full-on boyfriends, but you can deal with that and manage that. At least I have been able to so far. Now my wife, or my Thai wife, I'll call her that, because here it's girlfriend or wife is the same thing. My Thai wife and her family, they're very JD with me. They're very kind to me. They're always offering me food, always helping. Yesterday I was just tired and I did not want to have any more back pain than I already had. And the dad came home from the farm, got in his car, went and got one of her boys from school and brought him back. I felt a bit like a heel, but I would have been in serious pain the rest of the day had I driven his truck, which is not known for its comfort. It is a farm truck, very much a farm truck. It rides very rough. And I just didn't want to do that to myself. I just got to heal this darn back. I've got at least 1 or 2 more years of intense therapy just to try to get to a lower pain level, if that's even possible. So, yeah, but enough about that. Everyone's got their problems. So, I've talked way too long. Just a personal vlog, lots of fun stuff. Awesome day again in Thailand, just chilling, and man, this is way better than staying back home and having the heck beat out of me by the person who's supposed to love me. This is way better. And if you got a problem here, it's a small problem. There aren't really any big problems here unless you've been reckless. And I would absolutely advise you to not be reckless here. I would not. I love the hangover movies too, but man, you can really get yourself in trouble here. Anyways, all right. Thank you for supporting my YouTube channel. Thank you very much.